Man, oh man, the day off was pretty crazy. It all started when I woke up at around 10 o'clock. I had gotten up and I had planned going on a 3-day fast today. But many factors have led to a change in plans. When I met my mom in the morning, we greeted each other and I decided to watch this video on YouTube that was very interesting. It was about a guy who decided to create two separate agents, AI agents, on two separate laptop computers. One was Claude, and the other one was ChatGPT. And he basically gave them complete and total free reign to create lemonade stands, run a business, hire employees, and sell their product and make a profit of $100 within the first day. It was a very interesting video, very compelling. I have never seen anyone ever attempt this before. And it was really interesting seeing how the two different agents performed. They were fairly similar in terms of how they saw humans in in terms of the hiring process. It was very bizarre. They said, "We like your credentials. We think you're extremely talented, but we're going in a different direction." And the funny thing was, I looked at the comments of that video afterwards, and a lot of people said, "Yep, pretty much sounds like how my resume was reviewed." Does make me wonder if employers even review applications anymore, or if they just have an AI agent do it for them. If that's the case, that would explain why the job market is extremely awful right now. One of the most interesting factoids about the video was the fact that the guy even had both of these chatbots read many different books about having successful businesses and had that integrated into these chatbots' memory. And they had to run their businesses based on the stories that they read. It was a very compelling study. Uh, I think Claude was the one that had a Rube Goldberg style lemonade machine, and ChatGPT was the one that had a choose your own customizable flavor lemonade stand machine. It was really funny seeing everything start out where they wanted one wanted to just buy a pre-made stand and have everything retrofitted onto it, and the other one wanted to buy all of the separate parts on Home Depot and then have two guys build the stand for him. And of course, you have the human mediator guy, the guy who made the video and spent all the money on this. He gave these chatbots free access to his credit card, by the way, which is honestly insane. And they ended up spending well over 50, I think he said like, $1,500 on this whole project, or maybe it was $1,500 or 15,000. I mean, sorry. Whatever the case, he did something that I don't think anyone should do. Like putting that much trust in a AI agent. I don't care how intelligent it is. That's just a dumb decision. I feel like anyone who's smart with finances should have complete and total control over their, funds. But hey, I was doing it for an experiment, doing it for a YouTube video, so I guess I understood why I did it. It was a very compelling, interesting video, and I don't say compelling in terms of, ooh, I'm going to have an agent run a business now. Compelling in the fact that, wow, this is what happens when you give total free reign to an agent. They are harsh judges towards people who would probably be perfectly adequate for the role. The human guy that was stringing everything together, ultimately hired some of the people that the chatbot rejected. Well, others, like, were not accepted. And it was just kind of interesting. At the end of the video, he ultimately found that Claude ended up making $63 on the first day, and GPT made, I think, like $43 on the first day. So, at least in terms of numbers, Claude ended up beating out ChatGPT. And the machine it ended up creating, the stand it created, was probably the coolest thing. It was basically a Rube Goldberg style lemonade machine, something you'd see Gizmo make from the Goonies, where it was like the lemon being cut in half, like on its own, and then squeezed, and like, appropriate amounts of sugar and water being added, and then finally at the end of all of it, like a good chunk of like perfectly cut ice. It was a very interesting video for sure. After I was done watching and being completely absorbed into it, our family friend stated that they were going to go to the grocery store to pick up some things and asked if I would like anything. I decided at the beginning of the day that my last meal I would like before the 3-day fast would be French toast. So I asked for uh, Texas toast and also whipped butter, and they agreed to go through with that. So they left, and me and my mom decided to go for a 40-minute walk, and we had a great time. We enjoyed each other's company. It was a very hot day, very sweaty day. We made sure to put on sunscreen before leaving so our skin wouldn't get cooked and flake off from the radiation of the sun. So that was cool. When we returned, our family friend arrived right at the same time, and it was immediately two divergent efforts. Our family friend made guacamole, and they bought chips, and me and my mom made the French toast. I found a recipe on allrecipes.com for French toast that had 4.7 stars and over 435 reviews versus one that I think had 5 stars but only like 100 reviews. For some reason, I trust the ones that have like a 4.7 and a lot of reviews versus ones that have 5 stars and less reviews. Like, I don't know, in my opinion, because more people sampled it, the math just supports the fact that it would probably be the better bet of a more delicious French toast. So, me and my mom worked on that, making the custard. It was like 1/4 of flour, a cup of milk, 3 eggs. It required vanilla extract. We did not have vanilla extract, so we had to use vanilla bean paste, which we haven't really used a whole lot of since we got. So the fact that we had some on hand and we were able to use it was really cool. I thought that was pretty awesome. The fact that that was able to be used, and then um, oh yeah, and cinnamon and 1 tablespoon of sugar. We mixed that. I found the ingredients, I put them together, my mom mixed it. And yeah, I preheated the pan, put some Pam oil on that bad boy. She found a big thin pan, put the custard there, and put the Texas toast in. We cooked those bad boys on both sides, put them on plates, and we served me, her, and our family friend. Our family friend made the uh, guacamole with the chips, and we had that. And I have to say, the guacamole with the chips was very good. And our family friend actually thought that they weren't going to eat more than one French toast. But we got the French toast out. We put the whipped butter on. The whipped butter was left in room temperature for a good like 10, 15, 20 minutes. So it was able to soften enough. And we put that whipped butter on with some syrup. We put that in front of our family friend along with me and my mom, and we ate. And our family friend liked it so much that they actually wanted another one. They thought it was that good, and I would have to agree. Using the vanilla paste was an excellent idea. It made the vanilla flavor more pronounced, but not in an obnoxious, overbearing way, but in a accentuated, and depthful way, if that makes any sense. It was very good, and the whipped butter added so much volume to the meal, and it just that overwhelmingly buttery taste with the syrup. It was just an amazing breakfast. So we had that, we ate it, and then I thought to myself, you know what? I think I'll just start the fast tomorrow, so I could eat and enjoy my day off. And my mom agreed with that. So yeah, when we were done eating, my mom wanted to go for a swim with the pool. I was like, sure, I'll join you. Um, I need to use the restroom. When I was done with that, I got into my swimming trunks. I went out. I didn't find my mom anywhere. She was in the back bathroom, and she was looking at our back toilet. It wasn't properly flushing. The water was just kept on running. So we had to remove pieces of that toilet out and mess around with it. We're taking pictures of the situation, sending it to Google's Gemini chatbot and asking what we could potentially do. And it gave instructions that were like as long as the Mississippi River. It was crazy. So, we just thought we'd turn off the shut off valve for the water so it wouldn't constantly waste water. And we decided to go for a swim in the pool. It was very nice. The water was very refreshing, especially for such a hot day as today. And yeah, we just had fun. There was music blaring out from the back room, and we speaker, and yeah, we just had a great time. It was awesome. Our family friend even joined, and we all just even got like water guns and started like shooting targets around the back backyard, and even at each other. It was a lot of fun. Hell, after we had our enjoyment in the pool, we got out. Then we continued trying to diagnose the problem with the restroom in the back. We were having difficulty figuring out what to do, so we decided to find a video on YouTube to try to teach us. And I remember I was feeling very mentally fatigued from it because, like, I didn't really know what I was doing, and I was like, "Man, this is so hard. How am I going to solve this?" And like, it was a lot of information drop all at once. But lo and behold, we found a video online that went step by step on the process of removing the equipment and diagnosing the problem. Apparently, it's a very easy fix. So once we learned that, before we continued to go outside to finish the restroom, um, situation, we decided to take a little break by watching a new Y-Files episode. This one was about a guy who was going deer hunting, and he was stopped by what looked to be a yellow alien with big teeth, spiky, not like porcupine nodules on his head, and like two little antennae, and like a black leotard uniform with like X, you know, belts around his chest, and no hand on one hand, and then a spinning drill bit on the other hand. And this guy was like taken in by these beings in what looked to be a rectangular glass cube box. They floated up into the sky, they shot off into space away from the Earth, and eventually they arrived at the home planet where, when they arrived and the guy was let out, he saw what looked to be this giant, like what looked to be the needle, like famous landmark, but with like a bright like light emanating from it. And the the guy saw like a bunch of people in the area, like, and also the same alien species in there, and they were taking the species took him into the building, and they like had him medically examined for a little bit, and then they said, you are not what we're looking for. And so they took him back on the ship. They shot him off back to Earth, and they dropped off where they found him. And apparently he spent the first few hours just completely disoriented, confused, and didn't know where he was or what was going on. And then he got like diagnosed by like a like doctor, like went like he got went through hypnosis, recalled his experience. Apparently, when a search party went out, there was like bright lights flashing all around in the area, like of red, like green, blue lights. Yeah, he was taken in. His memories started to come back, and yeah, apparently his wife found like the bullet that he used to try to get one of the elks before his abduction, and like the bullet was like, looks like it hit some kind of surface and was completely like warped in a way that looks like it would have to hit something really hard in order for it to make that shape. And so it was a very interesting story. Um, there really isn't much physical proof in the way of did this actually happen. The only things that could be verified are the search party seeing these lights up in the sky flashing before going away as they were looking for the guy. And on top of that, his bullet, being all messed up. And, and you know, uh, that's about the two most definitive pieces of evidence about this case maybe having to happen. The whole story, though, I just find utterly fascinating. It's one of those rare cases where, like, a lot of abduction stories, it's like, ooh, you're the chosen one. We chose you because you were following your bloodline and your bloodline is just perfect or whatever. But this is a case where this guy wasn't chosen. In fact, he seemingly was rejected and just dropped off like a wet noodle. So the fact that, this guy was, you know, evaluated and he wasn't seen as valuable enough to keep around on the planet or whatever their purpose was, um, makes it an interesting case for sure. And some of the anecdotal and one piece of physical evidence of something may have happening to the bull he was trying to get an elk with. It all was very interesting. Kind of reminded me of the scene from the recent Spielberg movie Disclosure Day, where the elks are like luring the child character version of the main characters into their spaceship, and but like in this case, in this version of this series of events, it's just a regular elk, but apparently these beings need to go to Earth to pick up elks in order to, you know, feed on them. It's very bizarre, but I found it like as a fun little popcorn story at the very least. Although I will say Hucklefish is kind of losing his luster with me. I don't know. Sometimes he has one mild, funny one-liner, but most of the time I feel like it's just more obnoxious than anything. But yeah, that's about all I have to say about that. We were as we were watching it, we were having ice cream and um, strawberry ice cream with fudge on top and nuts, and that was very good, very delicious. I had a cup of coffee while watching that too. And yeah, when we were done eating that, we went and watching that, we went into the back to see if we could diagnose the problem with the toilet. Ultimately, my mom believed if you turn the knob just right enough, it allows the water to stop its endless stream while still functioning as a good toilet. And then my sister came up and told me they found a relative who looks similar to me, and we found a picture, and it looked funny. She wanted me to take a picture in the exact same pose, so she took the picture, she posted and said, "Hey, I have one of those," and it was like me in the same pose, and it was a pretty funny joke. And then after all that, my mom needed to do some work, so I decided to go for a walk around the neighborhood for a good hour, just listening to a guy overanalyze old SpongeBob episodes, while simply just taking in the environment and just enjoying the you know private peace of mind. When I arrived back at home, I greeted my mom and family friend, and we decided to have tacos with lettuce, onions, barbacoa meat, fried taco shells, and uh, salsa, and it was very good, very delicious. I really enjoyed it quite a lot. Two big thumbs up for me. And then I suggested, hey, I recently got this Finding Nemo 4K Blu-ray. I was wondering if you guys would be interested in watching Finding Nemo with me, and both of them agreed. So we watched Finding Nemo together, and this movie, it's as incredible as I remember it being. The score is god tier. The way the story, the plot moves along is just so fluid and dynamic. The themes it says about, like, safety, but being adventurous, and you're able to, you know get out of your comfort zone and really grow and change into someone who's more experienced in actually living, rather than just existing. I just think those were some really strong themes to tackle in a film like this, and it just reminded me, like, why Pixar in its heyday was just so influential and so strong. And yeah, I'm just really happy I grew up with that film. I watched it over and over again as a kid. It was one of my favorite animated films to rewatch. And watching it today as a 27-year-old man, it still holds up. It is a fantastic movie. I love it. Right up there with the very cream of the creme de la creme. So yeah, after we're done watching that movie, with a few restroom breaks and one coffee break, with a, like, you know pina colada, like, ice cream little thing, uh, we decided, after it was all done, uh, we they had the Somewhere Beyond the Sea song playing as the end credits, and me and mom did a little dance together, super cute. And then we decided for our last meal before the fast, we would have a protein rich meal. And so we ate roast beef that our family friend made. We ate quite a lot of it. I compared it to, like, refrigerated fruit and veggies, except this one was more so, well, meaty. And before we fully committed to the 3-day fast, we did a little bit of research, and we found out that, oh, it's actually a good idea if you already went on a fast a month ago, a 3-day fast a month ago. Probably shouldn't go on another 3-day fast, because it's going to mess with your metabolic rate, and it's also going to deplete you of vital minerals that you need on a day-to-day basis. The next best thing you can do is instead go on a single day fast, and then afterwards stick to a low carb, high protein fat diet, a healthy fat diet, I would say. So, learning that I thought was very important. Apparently, I found out that you should only attempt a 3-day fast at the age I'm in, at least, if you do once every 3 months. But if you do it once a month, that's going to be too much of a strain on your metabolic rate and your digestive system. So, only do it once in a while, to clear out your body with autophagy and stuff. But doing a 1-day fast is a good way to kickstart something like ketosis, so that way your body starts feeding off of your fat instead of glycogen stores. So it's good to know, really good to know. So we decided to switch it from a 3-day fast to a 1-day fast. So from 11:15 tonight all the way to 11:15 tomorrow night, no food. I actually like this better. I was kind of dreading doing another 3-day fast, especially since I had already done one so soon before. But knowing now that it actually wouldn't be good for my health long term to do a 3-day fast so soon after the last 3-day fast, and only doing a 1-day fast would be enough to get the benefits of fasting without doing any serious damage to my body. Well, it's a much better choice, so that's what we're doing. And then, like, an egg fast for 2 days afterwards as a little compromise. Yeah, me and my mom are doing it. I told my sister, she decided to go on a 3-day fast starting today, but then we decided to eat, and they were like, "I thought you were going." We were like, "Well, we decided to start tomorrow instead." They're like, "Okay," and now we're going to go on a 1 day fast with 2 days of egg eating. I'm wondering what my sister might say about that. Well, would be interesting. All right, well, yeah, and really doesn't matter. It's our choice. So, but the reason I even mentioned that is because they thought we were like doing a game plan, all three of us together. But we started to diverge a bit after doing a little bit of research and thinking it over. All right. Well, after that, we watched one special feature on the Finding Nemo Blu-ray bonus feature disc about three Pixar employees talking about their art direction and the decisions they made for the movie Finding Nemo and why they made them. And we thought that was very interesting, very cool. The art was fantastic. My sister actually did an art piece for Finding Nemo, and we even have it hanging in the den. We looked at it, and my mom, for the first time, noticed that she saw Dory in the piece next to Marlin and Nemo. Um, and well, I noticed that since the first time I saw it, but I guess maybe because she recently saw the movie, she saw it. So, yeah, that was pretty cool. And yeah, then after that, it was time to get ready for bed. So I put on the video of the guy overanalyzing old SpongeBob episodes while I was taking my magnesium pills, brushing my teeth, flossing, and then going to record this video. And that's pretty much the day in a nutshell. So that's going to do it for now. Thanks for watching. Very much appreciate it. And I will see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.